E aí, meus queridos, Oliveira Joga aqui para mais uma gameplay aqui, continuando a paixão do Grigd Legends, o joguinho de corrida da EA, tá? Muito bacana. Então vou deixar a parte 1 aqui na tela final desse vídeo, tá? Então fiquem ligados, já vai. É novo aqui no canal, caindo de paraquedas aqui, se inscreva, ative o sininho, a notificação, comentário aqui embaixo com respeito. O que você achou do conteúdo todo e o que você achou desse joguinho bacana aqui, tá? Então, quem não quer sofrer no Fórmula 1, Grigd Legends é pra você, tá? Então, vamos aqui, eu já tô com ele aqui ligado. Vamos aqui parar de hoje refazer onde a gente parou, né? Pra poder bloquear o que falta. Vamos lá.
So it's now becoming clear that the Seneca driver has some real chops. But doing well across a few races is not the same as doing well across the whole range of the grid.
Well, we're giving Volts a run for the money, aren't we?
And Marcus Ado is under enormous pressure to deliver a good result this season.
I agree. We can't keep it up. None of it matters.
Here's the grim reality. Either Seneca delivers magic this season, or they won't survive as a team.
No, it's not optimism, it's faith. Try it sometimes.
It looks like you mate Tanaka is in strong position to get the lion's share of the points today. Though number 22 won't be relaxing and will be on the hunt too.
You can finish in the top 8. Good luck. Your teammate lost places to a crash.
Teammate's been eliminated. We're relying on you to stay in this race.
Caralho, viado.
Well held. Stay in that safety zone.
garoto.
Holding their own after you made Tanaka's early elimination. With this kind of determination, the other teams must be taking notice.
It's not just the cars that make this discipline different from anything else in the series. During a race, the drivers can deploy a boost to overtake their competitors. This temporary speed boost can be charged once per lap of the race by driving through the boost zone. These boost zones are placed off the ideal racing line, so for our racers, there is a risk to filling that boost charge. But in a pinch, that boost could pull you into pole position for the win.
We are here live with Yumi Tanaka, who's on the grid right now, moments away from race start. Yumi, tell us, how are you feeling about this one?
The rivalry with not.
You need to finish in the top 5. Good luck.
I plan on finishing this one. This time, you won't have to race alone. Listen, goes without saying. Hit the boost gate. You need that speed.
Careful now, I think you might have pushed them too far.
Por favor, hein?
Well done.
Boa. Boa, garoto.
And that's another brilliant result for Seneca. Now, do we think votes are getting a little nervous?
We are live with Marcus Ado, who is having a very strong season with Seneca and is now fighting for a place in the Pro League. There are still signs to be made.
There are always improvements to be made. You stop developing.
This one's important, it's the biggie. Next time, we could be racing against Raven West. Good luck.
22. We can do this. See you on the audio.
Made it to the pros.
Coisa
On behalf
linda.
of the whole team, well done.
Barulho é bom demais, velho.
I can't believe this, we did it. Be proud. We deserve this spot in the Pro League.
This season of the Grid World Series has been on another level. Now Seneca, Box, teams at least point, and of course Nathan McCain and the mighty Raven West in the Pro League.
The Grid World Series once again revs up its engines, and the Pro Series is the pinnacle of racing, where our teams need to stay in the safety zone and be one of the 8 teams to make it through to our show-stopping finale, the Gauntlet.
How long is it gonna take? Just word for me? Sorry, Dave. Thank you.
Nathan McCain interview, take 1.
Who's that guy? You seen this new lobster place down the road? You get to choose which one you kill. You go to this big like box where they're all in. It's all blue and gnarly, and like, I want to kill that guy. Do I kill it? No, I'm not an animal. Okay, let's get going.
Okay. Do you want to say your name and introduce yourself?
They know who I am. Hi, I'm Nathan McCain, 5-time Grid Series world champion, soon to be 6 times, and that's a new record.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, listen. You get to second place if you can, but you stay behind Nate. Am I clear? Yes?
Fine. Whatever.
Hey, my favorite nephew. Listen, what's with the camera crew?
I don't know. They're making some kind of documentary about the grid.
Right.
Actually, it's about Seneca.
Oh, wow. I think I'd rather eat my own face.
Good luck.
Come on.
É, isso é muito legal, mano.
Alright 22, big day tomorrow. Start of a new season and I'll move into the Pro Series. So let's get a practice in before you race for real.
Listen, for tomorrow, our strategy is to bed in. We aren't aiming for Raven West yet. We build up the pressure. Gotta say, our team colors are looking great on this car.
Try not to get bogged down in really tight turns. Best to keep traction than drifting. But you know that. Things to say about you. Trust me, she doesn't say it if she doesn't mean it.
I know that from experience, she expects people to perform. And you're doing just that.
There's some good opportunities to draft here. Get in close, get the toe, then slingshot past. Watch out for the track limits here. It's so easy to get a time penalty by going over or cutting a corner.
We are talking live with Raven West's Lara Carvalho as she waits lights out. Lara, you're joined on track with new to the Pro Series Volts and Seneca.
You may 22, listen up. I imagine Nate will try and assert his dominance from the get-go. Let's show everyone we belong here.
Heard loud and clear, Ajit. We're here to stay.
Your teammate has crashed.
I like this challenge. These teams are good.
Caralho, viado.
Well done, team.
Pistas e a chata. Volta mais rápida, 2 horas e 11 minutos. Um joguinho bacana, velho.
McCain interview, take 1.
Okay. 2 secs. Okay. Right.
Thanks for taking the time to be with us today. I just wondered what your thoughts are on Seneca.
Seneca. They're the blue and white team, right? They'll look the same in the rearview mirror. Look, you know how I keep Raven West on top year after year, race after race? It ain't some highfalutin philosophy about turnips. It's something teams like Seneca just never ever have. Money. Well, money and good looks. Listen, good looks are a curse. You should count yourself lucky.
Hi. Of course you can. No,
Thank
pleasure,
you.
thank you. The next loser sticks a phone in my face, get this smashed to 1,000,000 pieces.
Hey, you should be thanking them. The fans are the only reason why any of us have a job.
Well, my uncle's pile of gold is the reason you have a job. Well, you know what? Screw the fans. They love me no matter what I do.
Vá a merda!
We are joined by Seneca lead engineer Ajit Singh. Ajit, this latest incarnation of Seneca looks to be a winning formula. How do you feel about this season?
We're very happy with the season so far. New May and 22 are gelling nicely. We gave Volts a good chase through the semis and looking to continue that in the Pro League.
Well, it's great to have you here. Good luck in the race.
I hate doing those interviews. Did I sound alright?
I just had the pleasure of meeting Nate. Isn't he just a wonderful human being?
Tá chata, véi.
I just had the pleasure of meeting Nate. Isn't he just a wonderful human being?
Ah, mano!
Your teammate's been involved in the crash.
Porra de pista, filho. Isso do caralho. Pista do cacete!
Despite the chaos of the grid, Seneca
Not long now until the race begins. Aaron, given that Seneca have made it into the Pro League, would you say Ado has finally found the winning formula?
He calls it a recipe, and this one definitely seems to be working well. He may have found Yume's equal. How far they'll get into the Pro League is anyone's guess at the moment. But if I was Ado, I would be feeling quite optimistic.
Well, it's great to have some fresh competition. Let's see how the race gets underway.
going on? Let's go.
You got your glory. Let's take what's ours.
Complicado, hein?
1, the last lap was a 2:06.5.
Garoto!
Garage.
And it's goodbye from Chicago at the Grigd series. Roll. Pizza. Oh, Greg! Where's the pizza? Ah.
Another win for Raven West.
I just don't get how they're doing it. Is it something in the fuel system?
It's not the cars. It's McCain. He's a force of nature out there.
Doesn't hurt it was raised on milk from a cash cow. What Raven West wants, Raven West buys.
How did you arrive at Raven West?
I just won a street racing festival in Brasilia when Cruzado.
Brasileira, isso aí?
I didn't even hesitate. But before I could sign, Ryan McCain offered me twice as much to
Misericórdia.
join Raven West. Best team.
Entendido cada
Chance at a
beleza.
legacy. How could I say no?
Please, can I get a selfie?
Of course you can. Anything. No, my pleasure.
Perfect.
Pleasure. Thank you. You see?
Do you ever regret your choice?
Not if we keep winning.
Red Bull.
Look, we aren't getting near Raven West, it just doesn't feel possible. Let's just give it one more go and see how close you can get. From our telemetry, he's making up time on the straights like he's carrying more horsepower than he's allowed.
Is untouchable. Not denying his talent, but getting close shouldn't be this hard.
out in front, then it's game over. You can't catch him.
I'm fast. 22 is fast. We should be able to catch Nate, but I can't see where we can push harder.
Keep pushing. Try and find at least a second.
It's almost as if he's got another gear, one we don't have. I can't explain it.
Part of me wants to dispute this with the officials, but that isn't what we do. And they are the champions. I expect them to be fast. We can't find a way, though.
Ah, velho!
Lara has a slower time, more in line with what I'd expect. Still fast, but achievable. His cornering looks like he's on a rail. He's not losing traction and turning in at speeds I'd expect would cause oversteer.
Porra!
Come in. We will review some footage.
Minha chatinha essa pista então. Mais uma. Oh, meu Deus. Não aguento.
And it's Seneca number 22 coming in third place tonight.
Both Seneca cars reach the podium. Another great day for the team.
McCain wins it, but wow, did Seneca give him a run for his money.
What do you think about Seneca's current form?
In a word? Unprecedented.
Incredible.
Decent.
You ask me again, you see what happens.
It's not
É mesmo, é?
just that they've worked their way into the upper midfield on such a small budget. It's that they're finally doing it with both drivers.
Right now, this moment, this is the best we've ever been. But when you succeed, people want more. So it's time for us to deliver.
We're going live to Raven West driver Nathan McCain. How are you feeling about this race, and are you worried about the new double threat of Seneca and Fultz?
Actually, lead.
Good luck, 22.
Raven with team rattled, regardless of what they say in England. Race hard, scare the McCain.
bicho.
retirement, but one man's trash is another's treasure. And I'm sure some are extremely happy with that result today. Like ducks to water. There is a fair amount left for them to prove, but so far, so good. And it's another chance for them to show their prowess in the electric racing.
Oh, looks like the race is about to start.
Okay, keep the pressure on Raven West. We can get close to them.
their path don't get taken out.
Filha da puta!
Fala, não me diga!
You're on pace. Make some gains on lap 2. Time last lap was a 1:34.0.
Carro. Carrinho chato, velho. Isso aí, vou encerrando esse vídeo por aqui.
Last season, Volts was shut out of the Pro League entirely. Now they've made it to the pros, they are becoming a real threat.
Hey, watch where you're going.
What is his problem? Maybe we'll be the ones to take down Raven West.
Do you think a team like Seneca stands a chance with Nathan McCain out there?
Maybe if they had 2 Yumi Tanakas. Teams today need to be firing on both cylinders if they want to stand a chance. But if this newbie does good, then bring it on, baby. That's why we're here.
Seneca's goal this year was to beat votes. But now they're doing as well as they are, they've got to be asking themselves whether they should shoot higher. And in the grid, nobody is higher than Raven West.
It's great to see rivalries.
Dubai.
Friendly like Volks and Seneca, or not so friendly like Raven West, and well, every other team on the grid.
Ah, estamos terminando já aqui. Terminando. Mano, muito legal o jogo, velho. Incrível. Caralho, layout errado. Ó, o Heitor ficar até aqui, for novo no canal, se inscreva, ative o sininho, qualificação, comentário aqui embaixo com respeito acima de tudo o que você está achando dessa minissérie aí de Grigd Legends. Eu vou comprar as outras temporadas porque é R$50, né? Então passar um cartãozinho ali e comprar as outras temporadas para saber como que prosseguir da história. E bem que o Fórmula 1 podia incorporar esse tipo de historinha para prender a gente nos modos carreiras, né? Bom, é isso aí, beleza? E muito importante também seguir a gente nas nossas outras plataformas de live. Os links estão todos aqui embaixo, como sempre. É isso aí, até a nossa próxima conclusão do Grigd Legends. Beleza? Valeu, falou. Fui.